Morning light spilled through the tall glass windows of Harbor Transit Station, turning the polished floors pale gold. Commuters drifted through the terminal in slow winter rhythm, scarves wrapped tight, coffee cups steaming in their hands. The world felt ordinary, safe, forgettable. Officer Caleb Rourke walked his usual patrol beside his K9 partner, Titan, a retired Navy SEAL dog whose black and tan coat still carried the quiet authority of service. Titan moved with calm precision, nose working, ears alert, a soldier even in civilian life. Caleb trusted that nose more than any scanner in the building. They passed families, students, a businessman arguing through a headset. Nothing unusual. Then Titan stopped. Not a casual pause. A full freeze. His body went rigid, tail straight, eyes locked across the terminal.
No,
Caleb
listen,
followed his gaze to a
you
frail
need to
elderly woman
rebook
seated
that
alone near
flight
Gate 6. She
immediately.
wore a lavender coat and clutched a
This is
small floral suitcase on her
unacceptable.
lap. Wisps of white hair escaped her knitted hat,
Look at
and her
how
shoes looked
big
too
that
thin for the
plane
cold.
is.
She seemed harmless. Invisible even. Titan let out a low whine. "Easy boy," Caleb murmured, but Titan stepped forward, muscles tight. Then he barked. Loud. Sure. Desperate. The sound cracked through the station, turning heads, silencing conversations. The woman flinched violently, hugging the suitcase to her chest. "Please," she cried. "Make him stop." Caleb pulled Titan back. "Ma'am, I'm sorry." He's trained to detect threats. Sometimes he reacts to things we can't see. "What's in the bag?" "Just clothes," she whispered, trembling. "I'm visiting my sister." Titan barked again, paws scraping the tile, trying to reach her. Not aggression, urgency. A transit officer hurried over. "Problem here?" "My dog's alerting," Caleb said, eyes never leaving Titan. "He's never wrong." The woman's breathing quickened. "I haven't done anything." "I believe you," Caleb said gently. "But we need to check." Tears welled in her eyes as he carefully lifted the suitcase onto a bench. Titan pressed closer, whining now, nose glued to one corner seam. Caleb unzipped it slowly. Inside were folded sweaters, a photo album, and a sealed plastic pouch hidden beneath the lining. Caleb's stomach dropped. Titan barked wildly. And somewhere deep in Caleb's memory, a battlefield alarm began to ring. They moved her to a private security room while medics were called. The elderly woman, Margaret Ellis according to her ID, shook so badly Caleb offered his jacket. Titan stayed pressed against her knee now, no longer barking, just watching, ears forward as if guarding her. "I didn't pack that," she kept repeating. "I swear." Inside the plastic pouch was a dense brick of white powder wrapped with medical tape. No wires. No detonator. But Titan's training had never been limited to explosives. "Narcotics?" the transit officer guessed. Caleb wasn't convinced. Something felt wrong. Titan had reacted like he did overseas, like when danger was layered, hidden beneath something worse. Then Margaret gasped. Her hand flew to her stomach. Her face drained of color. "I don't feel," she collapsed. Paramedics rushed her to Harbor General with Caleb riding along, Titan refusing to leave the stretcher. In the ear, scans revealed the nightmare, more sealed packets inside her abdomen. Surgically implanted. "She's a mule," a doctor said grimly. "But these aren't street drugs. This compound is unstable. If one ruptures." Caleb felt sick. "She's 78. When Margaret woke briefly, tears slid into her hairline. "A man from a veterans charity told me, my grandson was alive overseas. Said delivering a suitcase would pay for his rescue." Caleb's chest tightened. "What man?" "He had a burn scar on his neck. Said he served with my husband." Titan gave a low growl. Caleb knew that description. Marcus Vane. Former military contractor. Dishonorably discharged. Suspected in black market bio trials that never stuck in court. Margaret's monitor began to scream. Doctors rushed her into surgery as one of the internal packets ruptured, flooding her system before they could remove them all. Caleb stood outside the operating room, Titan pressed against his leg, both of them helpless. An hour later, the surgeon stepped out, eyes heavy. "We saved her life," he said quietly. "But the toxin caused irreversible organ damage. She won't have long." Caleb closed his eyes. Titan whimpered softly. They had found the truth. But they had found it too late. Margaret was awake when Caleb returned to her room. Tubes and monitors surrounded her, machines doing what her body no longer could. Titan rested his head gently on the bed, and for the first time, her shaking hands were still as she stroked his fur. "I'm not afraid," she whispered. "I just wish I hadn't believed him." "You believed in family," Caleb said. "That's not a crime." She gave a faint smile. Promise me, you'll stop him. Titan lifted his head, ears forward. I promise, Caleb said. By nightfall, a task force traced the suitcase materials to an abandoned marine warehouse. Thermal drones showed active labs inside. Vane wasn't just trafficking drugs, he was testing synthetic combat stimulants on unwilling carriers, studying how long the human body could endure before collapse. Margaret hadn't been a courier. She had been Data. The raid moved fast. Caleb entered with Titan at his side. Inside, medical cages lined the walls, empty now but recently used. Vane tried to flee through a back corridor. Titan took him down before he reached the exit, clamping onto his arm with controlled force. Officers swarmed, cuffs snapping shut. As they dragged Vane past Caleb, he sneered. They volunteered. You lied to grieving families, Caleb said coldly. That's not service. That's evil. At dawn, Caleb returned to the hospital. Margaret passed away just after sunrise, Titan beside her bed, his head resting on her blanket. Nurses swore he didn't move for nearly an hour afterward. Later, Caleb stood outside the station where it had all begun. Travelers rushed past, unaware of the war fought quietly among them. He knelt beside Titan, pressing his forehead to the dog's. You tried to save her, he murmured. Titan's tail thumped once against the pavement. Sometimes heroes don't arrive in time to stop tragedy. But they still make sure it never happens the same way again.